Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to the State Football Centre for the second game of our 4 cup finals this afternoon. It's the under-20s game between Perth Glory and Armadale Soccer Club. Perth Glory in the purple and the orange, as per usual. Armadale in their home kit of black and red. Armadale will get us started with a blow of referee Troy Malatesta's whistle. The referees all in yellow today. Troy Malatesta, your man in the middle, and he will be assisted by Adrian Lichty and Liam Howgate. David Averson's your 4th official. And Armadale will start with a throw-in, which will be taken by Max Adlam. Adlam's throw. Apadu. Palethorpe lost the handle, and Glory will get the ball. So on paper, anyway, in terms of the league standings at the end of the season, this game, a little bit of a mismatch. Glory 17 wins from their 22 matches in the league, a first-place finish, where they scored 81 goals and finished 6 points clear of Perth Red Star, who were on a 10-game winning streak in second, but couldn't quite close the gap with the damage already done earlier in the season. Just the 2 losses all campaign for Andrea Zavella's team. That's Ivan Zavella, rather. My mistake. Armadale, meanwhile, 9th. 22 games played. 6 wins, 4 draws, and 12 losses in season 2023. They were 5 points clear of bottom side Stirling in the final shake-up, but 17 points clear of fourth place Bayswater. So in terms of the league standings and the way in which these two seasons have panned out, it's perhaps a little bit of a mismatch, but anything can happen on a cup final day, and that's the beauty of these sorts of one-off matches. Saw a bonkers game first up in the Under-18 State Cup final, our first game of today, a 5-3 win for Perth Soccer Club against Floyd Athena. A couple of goals from Jonathan Ricky-Piero there, getting the job done for the Azzurri as Glory looked to come forward for the first real time this afternoon. Sebastian Despotovsky was trying to make some headway, but play will be called back for a foul on Roy Rahamim. Free kick will be taken by Giovanni Deabreu. And Glory will do their trademark thing of playing it short and getting the ball moving quickly. Deabreu for Prinsloo. Ball over the top here for Despotovsky, who just drifted into an offside position. Flag went up pretty promptly from Adrian Lichty. And it'll be Tyson Patterson who gets us restarted with an Armadale goal kick. Glory with 3 wins in their past 4 league matches. 1 defeat was in round 21 to Perth Red Star. On a day in which Red Star's senior team all but secured the NPLWA men's title. Armadale, meanwhile, the opposite, 3 defeats in 4 matches. The draw against Floyd in round 20 were their only points taken in that spell. And that was all after a pretty good start to the year where they only lost one of their first 4 games, only for 5 losses in a row to follow afterwards. Delano Adams can't keep that one in play. Over on the far side, and Glory get it back. Here's Abdirahman Wasame. Ran into Tadewinashe Kazamba. Now a chance for Sam Barry to stretch his legs. He'll drive into the penalty box. Purple shirts arriving in support. It's Sam Barry twisting, turning, crossing. And the header was partially away. Barry again, all the way back for Giovanni Deabreu. Deabreu was recently with the Joey squad at the Asian Cup earlier this year. He actually scored in that tournament as well, so a player very highly thought of, and perhaps we'll see him in the first team soon. Meanwhile, Glory sneaking behind, and it was a challenge right on the last line that saw Armadale scramble it away to safety. That was Marley Kay who did a good job. Glory win it back. Little pass into the channel for Despotovsky. Driven across goal. Ryman might still get there, but Patterson was off his line quickly to gather. And the quick release was looking to find Adams, but Glory were well aware to the danger. Stepping in to win it back was Cohen Lane. And Armadale will get a little bit of respite. But a moment or so ago, it was Gert Prinsloo who made the midfield run. And he was untracked, and in the end it was Marley Kay who had to come across and snuff out the danger. Ball played through here for Roy Rahamim. Left-footed shot first time. Was blocked by Eli Holdsworth. Now Aston Montgomery. A little nudge into the penalty area. Clearance is made, and Angel Andres Diaz will try to be a nuisance. He's got the numbers against him, though, and Glory are able to sort it out between themselves. Ball forwards here to release Hewings into the channel. He took on the early strike, and it was straight at Patterson. So a little bit like the first game, it's very end-to-end and a little bit fast and frenetic. Particularly, I'm sure, for Armadale, whose game plan will likely be to try and just contain the Glory for as long as possible. Maybe try and sneak a goal in the opposite direction. And stay in the game for as long as they can. Deobru went to ground. Despotovsky was clipped by Cohen Lane. Gloria keen to get it moving as Luke Sprigg advances over halfway. Prinsloo for Sprigg again. Cross into the area. The midfield runner is Kazambe. In fact, he was forward from full back. It was Tadinawasho Kazambe. Snapping at the heels there was Sean Palethorpe. Risky pass across the back. Worked out all right for Manolo Vanarassian. Despotovsky had his heels clipped again. Armadale trying to make life as uncomfortable as possible in these early stages. This Glory team, who you'd suspect would have most of the ball throughout the day. Sprigg again for Venerassian. Ball forward from Venerassian. It's a beauty of a pick out for Sam Barry. Little threaded pull through for Rahimim, who got the effort on target. And it's going to go down as an own goal, I think, as Glory get the first of the afternoon here at the State Football Centre inside the first 10 minutes. And the league leaders of the under-20s competition are a goal to the good. It's Glory 1, Armadale 0. So a tough concession, early doors for Armadale. It'll go down as an own goal, potentially to Cohen Lane. We'll confirm that shortly. Gloria on the front foot again, though, with Hewings linking up with Raimim, and Armadale will try and scramble it forward. Venerassian played some senior minutes in the MPLW men's competition. Manolo Venerassian. Montgomery making the forward run. Left-footed cross. Didn't beat the first man. Despotovsky. Prinsloo once again making that forward run. Clearance will only find Barry here on this near side. With a step over or two and a low ball into the box. Kazamba was in the mix. He's certainly getting forward from full back early in the piece. Here's Barry again. Pass inside for Despotovsky. You can hear the swirling wind in the background. Quite a gloomy day here at Queen's Park. Very overcast and a little bit of light rain as well that we can feel from our commentary position at the opposite side of the grandstand. Good win there from Sikazwe. And he'll go over to take the throw, having tried to link up with Delano Adams. Barry again, very involved in the game early on. His glories, number 7. He's a player who's highly thought of at the club. 15 assists this season and very much a creative force. Venerassian will poke a ball over the top, but Patterson was off his line to claim again. Armadale yet to really fire a shot in anger yet. Chance for them to maybe get forward here. As the long ball went forward for the run of Sikazwe, and skipper will take the throw. Chance for Armadale to set themselves on the front foot a little bit. And there was a foul on Delano Adams. Challenge was made by Giovanni Deabreu. And now the rain starts to come down a little bit heavier. So this is an opportunity perhaps for Armadale to work Glory goalkeeper Sam Riley. I think that's Pavishna Apadou who's over the dead ball. Apadou clips it into the area. Ball will skip through to Riley, and he's keen to get the Glory moving down the right. The counter-attack is certainly on if they can move it quickly enough. Barry tried to get out of a tight corner. Weight of numbers are in Armadale's favour. Deabreu. Aston Montgomery had the ball escape him. Apologies if there is any interference coming through your screen at the moment. We're getting absolutely peppered by rain here in the gantry. Here's Venerassian. Pass was behind Barry. Clearance from Max Adlem. Kazamba. Glory fullback was then caught, as was Same tried to clear the ball. Lane was clearly held back there by an over-eager Giovanni Deabreu, and referee just has a little word with the Joey's player. One of a couple in the squad today. I'm sure there'll be plenty in the future as well who will be wearing the green and gold at some level. Ball forward here for Despotovsky, who's trying to make some yardage down the right. Kazamba's throw. Despotovsky. Kazamba again. Prinsloo nearly nicked it off Lane. Veneracian was able to get it back to Riley. Now Deabreu. Veneracian once more. Prinsloo. Little outside of the foot pass for Hewings. Luke Hewings invited to come inside. Prinsloo left it behind. And then Adams will send that one up the line for Angel Andres Diaz to chase. And he did really well, actually, to make something out of nothing there, did the young striker. And he's able to win his team a free kick, really, there with something out of nothing. Exactly what you need to be doing when you're the one man up top and very much having to fight the good fight. So Apadu is on dead ball duties again. Teasing ball into the box. The header from Diaz. He got a little piece of it as well, I think. And in fact, the last touch came off a Glory shirt. And Ivan Zavella's team will get the corner. In comes the corner. Kazamba met it at the near post. 2 fists away from Riley, who maybe could have caught it, but the goalkeeper was fouled in any case, and Glory will withstand that Armadale charge. Rain thankfully easing up a little bit, but the wind is still playing tricks on us all, including here in our position in the commentary. Lifted forward by Palethorpe. Cross was dug out there by Cullen Lane. Red and black shirts swarming back. Prinsloo nearly helped it forward. Andres Diaz tried to slip through Wasame, and he had another option in Adams to his right, which was maybe the better one. Ball forward then by Despotovsky won't trouble Armadale's defence, at least for now. And Patterson will thump it as far as possible. Despotovsky again. Big sliding challenge from Marley Kay. And it'll be a glory throw. So Armadale's run to the final saw them beat Guelph by 4-1, with Delano Adams getting a couple on that occasion. Armadale then beat Maddington Kalamunda 5-1 before a 2-1 win at Rockingham. And in the semi-final, they beat Mum FC by 2-1 with Adams and Angel Andres Diaz on the score sheets. Glory's path, meanwhile, saw them defeat Inglewood 4-3. Beat Gosnells 3-0. And then advance past Perth Soccer Club in the quarters and thrash Sorrento 5-0 in the semi-final, with Despotovsky and Barry getting a couple of goals that afternoon. Veneracian for Kazamba. Prinsloo then got the shot away, and Patterson had to guard that near post and did a good job to turn it away. Corner taken quickly. It came off Sakar's way, I think, in the mixer, and landed in the grateful hands of Tyson Patterson. Sam Barry. Prinsloo. Purple shirts arriving into the penalty area. Prinsloo still got to find a yard to dig out across first. He'll play to the feet of Despotovsky. Now Barry managed to stay onside. Lovely turn from Despotovsky. Into the area he goes, trying to get to the byline. Barry still there in support. Left-footed cross. Should be an easy one for Patterson, and is. Remarkably, it's the first time since 2017 that Sorrento haven't been in the 20s Cup final. They've been a team that's got there quite regularly over the journey. This game usually has goals in it as well. Both teams have scored in 5 of the previous 6 Reserves Cup finals. Glory with 2 wins. As Barry pokes through for Prinsloo, trying to pull across for Rahimim or Ewings, and in the way of it was Marley Kay once more, not for the first time this afternoon. Corner taken short by Glory. Foot from Apadu into touch. Glory will stay on the front foot through Kazamba. Despotovsky trying to pull across goal. He rattled it into the post from a tight angle. And then Kazamba's ball was a little too close to the goalkeeper on the follow-up, but Armadale certainly riding their luck at the moment, trying to stay in this game. Now the ball forward gives Angel Andres Diaz something to chase, and it'll skip through to Sam Riley. Perth Soccer Club goalkeeper once. Been a little bit back and forward between the Azzurri and the Glory. That's a sloppy pass from Kazamba. Once to the end, though, Armadale can't quite make something out of it. It's Glory's appetite to win the ball back is good. Not only have they got the best attack with 81 goals scored, but they've also conceded the least, just the 21 concessions in 2023 in the league. Cross into the box here. It was from Palethorpe. Broom at it at the near post. Armadale will come back again through Sakarsway. Time to assess his options. Palethorpe will hook it on to Wasame. Wasame across goal. There's a head in there from someone. Adams nearly then forced it in, and Glory were able to partially clear their nines. Now Sakarsway, left-footed bender just over the bar, and also a little bit wide of the target. So thankfully, from our perspective, the rain has subsided for a little bit. A little shake of the head from Goran on the camera next to me. Not only is he trying to film the game, but he's also trying to hold an umbrella over the camera as well. Sun starting to poke through the overcast skies as Barry gives chase to another pass into the channel. Adlam will be able to shield that one behind, though. It's only the second time that Armadale have been in a Reserves Cup final in their history. Come back to that in a second as Raimim. Sliding in was Cullen Lane. Referee said it was a good challenge. Apadu. Lane just couldn't quite bring it under control. Glory get it back. Now Sam Barry. Switch of the play was looking for Hewings. Carsway will guide it back to his defensive teammate in K. And then the ball was smashed away by Montgomery, I think it was, and Armadale will get it back. So approaching the half-hour mark here at the State Football Centre. Second of our 4 games today. Glory 1, Armadale 0. An early own goal separating the teams. I think it might have been Colin Lane who got the final touch from Roy Raimim's shot. I'll leave that one to the dubious goals panel, though, as to who that one's paid to. Armadale able to have a nice little win in midfield as Angel Andres Diaz will turn around the corner. Son of former Armadale striker, of course, Angel Andres Rivera. A Spaniard who's scored plenty of goals in the top flight over the years. Most recently, putting him in the back of the net for fun for Dinella White Eagles. Going on to win the Golden Boot as Dinella just missed out on a place in the promotion playoff spot. Such a competitive league, of course, that second tier has been for a number of years now. Takes an outstanding season like the ones that Kingsway and Stirling have had in the past 2 to get up, and so too the Knights, who are back in the top flight for the first time since 2012. Albert Louis' goal in the 87th minute sealing promotion for them as Armadale are in pursuit of Sprigg, who turns around the corner from Montgomery. Montgomery tried to lift over his opponent in Adams, but move was a little too heavy. Glory play out from the back from Vanarassian. Apadu pinches it off Prinsloo. It's Pavishna. Apadu, left-footed strike. Just leant back on it slightly, and there was a touch on the way through. I think it was Vanarassian who got a little tickle on that one. And it'll be an Armadale corner, so Armadale have had a few moments in this first half where they've gotten forward and caused the Glory a few problems. In comes the corner. It's a very deep delivery. Wind then just holds the ball up in the air. Wasame was first to it at the other side of the pitch. It's Abdurrahman Wasame fighting really hard and doing a really good job, and it was better safe than sorry as far as Deobrew was concerned, and Armadale having a nice little spell here to the left of your screen. Best little period of the game that they've had to date. Bit of a waste there from that set piece. Shouts for handball against Kazamba. Troy Malatesta said, play on. Marley Kay sends it back forward, and that'll run all the way through for Riley, who's just happy to let it trickle over the byline. Decent pressing again from Armadale. Adlam with the right-footed cross. Vanarassian, the partial header away. Wasame can't quite get around Deobrew, who's been terrific so far at the start of this game. Despotovsky. Barry, Despotovsky again. Famous name in WA football, of course. Don't need me to elaborate on that any further. Here he is again. Vanarassian with a long ball forward. Patterson thought about coming, and Adlam opted to help it on. Glory will get an opportunity now to occupy a little bit of Armadale territory. The Welshpool Road side of the ground. Glory have gone short on a few occasions today, and this time Armadale were awares to the tactic. Kazamba's throw, Sam Barry. Kazamba once more. Barry had come back from an offside position. And no real complaints there from the Glory bench. Last year's edition of the Under-20 State Cup saw Perth Soccer Club beat Sorrento by 4-2 with Sam Cook getting a hat-trick in that game. Phoenix Lee the other. Wasame's nod forward. Angel Andres Diaz. Riley's touch. Looked a little heavy, and then he took a chance and The hustle was good from Diaz. And applauded by his coach, Lee Taylor, former Guelph and Rockingham boss. That's the offside flag. Goes against Armadale on this occasion, and Glory will get it moving as they often do. Deabru slid in. It was an important intervention. Despotovsky looks left, sees Hewings, and the offside flag's up. Just had a little look at the weather radar, and it seems as though we've got a little bit more rain coming, unfortunately. Oh, Apadou's pass was nearly picked off by Barry. Adlam, Prinsloo, Apadou won the 50-50. Tried the big switch for Adams. Diaz had a good win. Got it to a teammate. Despotovsky was trying to pick his pocket. Hewings nearly emerged with it. Fighting hard was Sakarsway. Then the ball lifted forward by Deabru for Sebastian Despotovsky. Got round one. Driving into the area. It's Despotovsky. Rahimim. Last touch there was off Holdsworth. And Glory get the corner. Set piece taken by Barry. Kazamba leaped. Adams took no chances and cleared. Despotovsky met it with his head. First time volley was on target. Stung the palms of Patterson, who gathered at the second attempt. Forward by Holdsworth, headed back by Sprigg. Palethorpe. Prinsloo. Glory wanted the advantage there. Play called back. Glory get things going. Despotovsky. Armadale shirts around the ball. It's prodded through for Aston Montgomery, who was forward from full back. Feeling a real feature today. That has the high nature of Montgomery and Kazamba in those wide defensive positions. Looking to try and possibly get some overloads. Sakarsway's throw. Hewings. Pass for Barry was picked off by Adlam. Now Wasame. Venerassian for Prinsloo. Venerassian continued his run, was alongside him. Turning away was Holdsworth. Diaz was coming back from an offside position. Kazamba trying to take it on himself. Kazamba and the Glory dugout wanted a free kick. Nothing doing. Referee's letting the game move. Today, ball is threaded through here for Hewings. Adlam was able to nudge it back to the goalkeeper. It was a little short, and Hewings had an open goal, and he was slightly off balance as he tried to turn towards the target, and Armadale survive a scare late in the first half. As the rain pours down again. Touch over 2 minutes remaining in this first 45. Plus any stoppages, of course, to be added on as the corner's taken short. It's drilled into the box. It's missed by Rahimim, and Adams will be hoping that crosses the line. I think he had to intervene. The last touch was off a Glory player, though, in Rahimim. Deabru. Prinsloo for Despotovsky. Hewings is offside again. Sakagwe sends forward. Adams was nudged as he tried to help it on, and Armadale will get a free kick. So a Armadale free kick. Sent long into the penalty area was Same with a gilt-edged chance right at the end of the first half to pull Armadale on terms. And the marking was a little lax from Glory's rear guard. Same made the untracked run, and in the end he'll be disappointed that he didn't hit the target. Meanwhile, just off your screen, we saw David Avison signal that there'd be an additional minute of added time in this first half. Riley will punt the ball long upfield. Prinsloo was at the drop, so too Apadu. Apadu sends forward. Veneracian lifts into touch. Adlam will take the throw. Armadale gain a few more metres. One more chance for them potentially in this first half to get something forward. We've played a minute of the allotted added time. Gloria will get it back, and that might just about do us for this first 45. So a scrappy game in the wet and windy conditions. As things stand, Glory look as though they're going to lead at the interval. There's maybe one more chance for them to extend their lead as Hewings switches the play for Sam Barry. Kazamba's on the overlap. Barry went it alone. The drive towards goal was straight at the goalkeeper. And that'll do us for the first 45 here at the State Football Centre, the Under-20 State Cup Final. And the scoreline is Perth Glory 1, Armadale 0. It's been a lot scrappier and a lot tighter than the first game that we had that wild 5-3 win for Perth Soccer Club over Floreat. But Glory seized the initiative early on, and an own goal which we think came off Cohen Lane last from Roy Ramim's shot inside the first 10 minutes got Glory off to a flyer. Since then, though, it's been pretty even. Glory have had the better of the chances, though, it has to be said. Despotovsky hit the post, and then Gert Prinsloo nearly caught Armadale off guard when he put wide of the post. Armadale's best chance came late in the first half when Wasame lifted over the bar from a long free kick into the box. But at the moment, it's Perth Glory 1, Armadale 0. 45 minutes played in the second of our State Cup finals here at the State Football Centre. into the second half of this second State Cup final. The under-20s match between Perth Glory and Armadale Soccer Club. Scoreline at the break, Glory 1, Armadale 0. An early own goal. We think Cohen Lane got the last touch on it. Is what sets these two teams apart. Glory had an effort hit the post through Sebastian Despotovsky, and they also put just wide of the post through Gert Prinsloo, but Armadale had a couple of moments in that first half, and whilst the game is only 1-0, they'll still believe that they can get themselves right back into this one. As Barry looks to try and set Glory on the front foot early on. Sprigg. Montgomery, teammate to his left is Hewings. Left-footed cross, low into the area. Kay got it away. Now Diabru with the left-footed ball forward, which I think was meant to be a cross, but ultimately he couldn't wrap his foot around the ball. No changes from either team at the 45-minute mark. So we start the game with the second half, with the same 11 as we started the game with. And as mentioned before, it was a wet, windy and wild first half. Some really difficult conditions on the pitch for the players, and also from up here where we are in the commentary position, the sideways rain coming right into our vantage point. So apologies if the sound or the vision is a little bit clouded at times. It's just something we're going to have to put up with throughout the half. There's a little bit of blue sky in the background though, so hopefully that's a sign of things to come as Prinsloo skips past a couple of challenges and Carsway is penalised. Glory will get a free kick. Under-18s game, first of the afternoon, won 5-3 by Perth. NTC, Mom FC and the Women's State Cup final next, and then we finish with Inglewood and Floriat, 6:30 local time. As Diabru's pass was returned to him by Montgomery, now Sprigg. Veneracian. Despotovsky. It's one of the most lively players in that first half for the Glory. And Hewings just went a fraction too early. Clearance from Patterson. Helped inside by Delano Adams. Hewings is in pursuit. Ramim left it to him. Glory's number 11 got past one, then laid off for Aston Montgomery. Hewings then with a left-footed drive. Blocked. Back for Diabru. Glory looking to try and get into stride. At the beginning of this second period, Barry tried to turn around the corner. Ball crossed the line before Montgomery could keep it alive. Carsway's throw forward. Angel Andres Diaz with the cross. Wasame was loose in the box. The little back heel was required there. See what he was trying to do. He was trying to just nudge it back to Palethorpe on the edge of the box. Possession turned over though. Glory looked to counter with Kazamba breaking forward from right back and Adlam put into touch. Last touch there off Wasame. Corner ball to Ivan Zavella's side. Will Cruz stood alongside him in the dugout. Usually the under-18s coach. Corner kick had already crossed out of play. Patterson was keen to get it long. A little bit of sunshine now coming out as Deabru lifts it forward. Prinsley making the midfield run. Ryman with a low drive, and it was a great save by Patterson to turn it round the post. Ball just set up beautifully for the former Bayswater junior. He was arriving on the edge of the area. The low, fierce, driven effort was tipped away by Patterson. Subsequent corner. Looks towards Montgomery. Tried to swing a boot at it. Forward by Apadou. Venerassian got in front of Wasame. There's a Armadale player down in midfield, and referee is blowing his whistle and keen to ensure that he's okay. Not sure if that was a potential head knock there. Now the Armadale physio is waved on after initially being told not to enter the field of play. And we will have a slight delay here. So at the moment, this game is still somewhat in the balance. Given Glory have only conceded 21 goals all season long in the league, they'll want to ensure Armadale that they don't find themselves 2 down. Two meetings between these sides in the league season. On both occasions, Glory scored 4 times. A 4-0 win down at Larkhill in round 2, and then a 4-1 win at Alfred Skeet Reserve in round 14. This play is back underway again with Kazamba. Glory substitute's been sent to warm up just off your picture. Meanwhile, Wasame pinches it back for Lee Taylor's team. Angel Androids Diaz. Across was Venerassian, and much to the disgruntlement of the Armadale support, free kick goes against their team, and Wasame. Venerassian, now Despotovsky. For Gio Deabru. Perth Glory's A-League men's team started their preparations for the new A-League season last night with a 5-2 win against local side Sterling Macedonia. Encouraging signs for Glory's man up top, Adam Taggart, who scored 4 on the night. A lot of the NPL players were on the bench for that fixture as Ryman stayed on side. A very late flag was put up. Another little delay here for Armadale player, potentially with an injury, and signal looks as though it's been made for an Armadale change to be made. So unfortunately, Max Adlam will not be able to take any further part, and we're going to see Chad Samuels come on in place of him. So just wonder if that means a little bit of a switch up for Lee Taylor's team tactically. Samuels is a central player who can also play wide in the attack. And it does look as though that the left back Adlam has departed and Chad Samuels has gone to the right wing. So 3 at the back now, it seems, for Armadale as they look to try and change things up in this second period. Samuels with a senior goal at NPL level this season, scored in the 3-0 win against Florida at E&D Leaders Stadium. Now Glory are going to reply with their first substitution of the day, and it's going to be Quarren Go who enters the fray, and he's going to come on in place of Luke Ewing. So I expect that that'll be a like-for-like swap, and then Go will take Ewing's place on that left-hand side. And Go, of course, scored a memorable winner for the Glory against Sorrento in the regional game down in Albany. Last-minute winner against the Gulls in that thrilling encounter back in round 8. Adams was leaping with Dea Brew. Referee was happy to let play continue. Cohen Lane. Turn around the corner from Angel Andres Diaz. Adams went to ground. Glory looking to try and counter through Despotovsky. Pass up the line for Quarren Go. 3 purple shirts alongside him in support. It's Quarren Go. Jinking run, then turns back for Despotovsky. And then the strike on the turn from Aston Montgomery was wayward. Despotovsky. Good pass for Sam Barry, who's into the area. Got to wait for the support to arrive. Barry goes himself and rifles high into the net. And doubles Perth Glory's lead. And they're in a real position of power now. Ivan Zavella's charges. It's Glory 2, Armadale 0. So just before the hour mark, it's Glory 2, Armadale 0. And it's going to have to be an almighty comeback now for the Army if they are to rescue something out of this game and keep their hopes of lifting silverware alive. They've got a chance though from a set piece. I think it was Aston Montgomery who went into the referee's notebook. Pavishna Apadu will stand over the dead ball. He's got half a dozen black and red shirts to aim for. 2 in the glory wall. Apadu's left-footed delivery is stood up. Wasame was lurking at the back post. He went and got on the end of it, but he's been hemmed into a corner by Kazamba. And Wasame drew the foul, and Armadale will get the set piece again from the other side of the pitch this time. So Apadu's the taker again. Angel Andres Diaz was attacking. There was a touch of a glory shirt in the mix, and Manolo Veneracian will try and set glory on their way. It's Quarango lifting forward. Roy Ryman has stayed on side. Tyson Patterson came off his line, and it was an important intervention from the goalkeeper. He got there just in the nick of time. Samuels. Angel Andres Diaz. Nice turn. Looked as though there was a little bit of contact there, but play continues. Rain starts to spit down again as a long diagonal for Ngo. Looked as though he controlled that with his hand, and referee agreed and sorted that way too. And now Glory will turn to the bench for their second time this afternoon. It's going to be Daniel Yankolowski who comes on in place of Luke Sprigg. So a defensive change-up. Possibly with a view on maybe just predicting that a few more direct balls will be made by Armadale as the game wears on to try and get something back into the game. Yankolowski a little bit taller than Sprigg. Quarango. And go again. Got past one, then a second. Still going. Quarango to the edge of the area, and he was brought down by Holdsworth, and Glory get a set piece right on the edge of the box. So 5 in the Armadale wall, and Ngo steps back. He'll be the taker of this free kick around 19 yards out from Ngo. It's Ngo stepping up. It went through the wall, and Patterson was well positioned. Wasame. Ball was slightly behind Samuels, and then it bounced awkwardly behind him. Holdsworth then lost his footing. Barry stepped in and he was fouled by Delano Adams. Veneracian for Gio Deabru. And go. Lovely reverse. Prinsloo. Last touch was off the Armadale defender there. I think it was Marley Kay. Correction, it was actually Colin Lane who was tracking back from midfield. Despotovsky across for substitute Yankolowski. Now Despotovsky. Kazamba. Despotovsky once more. Montgomery for Ngo. Carsway stood his ground. Now Samuels. Numbers are against him, and that's how it turned out. So, coming up to the midway point of this second half here at the State Football Centre. Second to 4 State Cup finals today. A wet and windy one. In this encounter, it's Perth Glory 2, Armadale 0. An own goal in the first half, followed by Sam Barry's second half effort. State Cup final action coming to you today on streamer.com.au and also on the Football West Facebook page. Tommy Dolman with you on the call later today. It's Hyundai NTC and Mum FC in the Women's State Cup, 3:45 PM local time. And then it's Inglewood and Florida at 6:30 PM, the fourth and final of our matches today. Ball played through here, gave Ryan something to be interested in. Lifted upfield by Patterson. Nodded down by Montgomery. Prinsloo for Deabru. Little lofted pass over the top for Sam Barry. Barry did really well. To the byline he goes. 4 shirts to aim for. One of them's Rymim. And he gets his name on the score sheet. And Glory are well and truly on course now to complete a league and cup double and under-20s level in season 2023. It's Perth Glory 3, Armadale 0. So, Rymim has had a terrific season, 15 goals in the league. He was also awarded the Glory Rising Star joint winner with Jalen Pearman in 2019-2020, and that's an example of why. Real poacher's effort there, and Glory will respond by making a triple change. So, Aston Montgomery, Gert Prinsloo, and Sam Barry will all make way. And we've got the 14, the 16, and the 18 on for Glory. That's Damon Karasavides, that's Julian Kelly, and it's also Abdullah Dafash. So, all but game over now. It was always going to be a tough task for Armadale today. They were up against a team that won the league pretty convincingly, losing just 2 games all year long. Armadale finishing 9th in the regular season, and that's how it's come to pass, really. Glory putting the foot down in this second half, and they're coming forward looking for more here through and go. And then Kazamba, who, with a lovely piece of footwork, got past Holdsworth. He pulled back for Despotovsky, and Armadale are able to scramble it away. And go. Quar and go. Jinking run into the area, past one, then two, then laying off for Defash, who managed to keep it in play. Karasavides' ball. Kazamba was arriving at the back post, but it was an acrobatic effort which was required. And in the end, he wasn't able to get anywhere near it, as Armadale will now introduce some fresh legs themselves. Changes starting to come thick and fast for both teams. In fact, they're going to make a double swap with Solomon Finch and also Lachlan De Silva coming on. And just going to be Colin Lane and Delano Adams. Finch was his first touch of the game. Karasavides for Julian Kelly. Now Defash, all three of the substitutes linking up there on the left-hand side, and those efforts yield a glory corner. Cross comes in from Despotovsky. Deep delivery arriving with pace was Yankolowski, who's now got to turn and track back and get back in position because Armadale are countering upfield. Sakar's way wasn't able to make any good of it. Karasavides, Despotovsky, Gio DeBrew. Quarango is in pursuit. The forward went to ground, and the referee pointed for a goal kick. Flick on there from Samuels. Angel Andres Diaz. First time cross. Decent one for Wasame. Solomon Finch is alongside. The cross came in and it hit Yankolowski. And Glory, as they do so well, are able to play it out from the back with Karasavides linking up with Ngo. Pass all the way back for Yankolowski, one of 5 players introduced in this second half so far for Glory. Venerassian for Gio DeBrew. Ball had already crossed the line before Abdullah Defash could keep it alive. Samuels with the quick throw. Angel Andres Diaz took a big swing and wasn't able to make good contact at all. Diabru. Despotovsky. Clip forward for Quarango. 2 to aim for in the middle. The cross comes in. Ryman was leaping. He got a glancing touch on it, but the ball evaded and arriving Defash at the back post. as the rain returns once more. Carsway for Apadu. Riley across for Yankolowski. Kazamba. Ball across. Important intervention from Carsway. And then the ball forward will go into touch. So we're into the final quarter of an hour now. And this one is all but done as fans on the far side of the pitch start to take shelter once more. Yankolowski stepping out, getting to the ball before Lachlan De Silva. Despotovsky, ball inadvertently hit a retreating De Silva's head. Ball is now played forward for Despotovsky. Sliding challenge. Ball still broke for Despotovsky. A little clip which took a deflection on its way through, and Patterson's hand couldn't keep it out. And Despotovsky, joint leading scorer for Glory in the league this season, adds to the tally on a wet and windy afternoon in September. And Glory get their fourth of the day. It's 4-0. So 4-0, and really we're just playing for time now at the end of this one. Glory, of course, will still want to keep the momentum up. They've got a top four cup semi-final to look forward to next week. They'll be at Red Star Arena, playing against Red Star. Teams who finished 1 and 2 in the regular season, so a major semi-final with a double chance attached to it. Lifted forward by Palethorpe. Samuels went to ground. Decision didn't go his way. Julian Kelly will now advance upfield. Despotovsky linking up with Defash. Pass was between both Despotovsky and Ryamim. Holdsworth. Long diagonal, the offside flag was up. Thought the last day of winter was meant to be last Thursday. So much for that. Venerassian for De Bruyne. Defash. Apadu. Samuels. A little bit of space on this right-hand side. Chad Samuels trying to work the angle for a cross. He went with a low drive. Sliding back in was Defash. Cross came back in from Sakarsway. Might break for Samuels again. Sakarsway wasn't quite on the same wavelength. And Julian Kelly will tidy up. Player who, of course, knows what it's all about to win Cups at under 18s and under 20s level. He part of that very successful Bayswater team which won 4 in a row prior to today's earlier game, which Perth won by 5-3 over Floreat. Sakarsway misread the ball forward, but it didn't matter because Defash was offside. Once again, apologies if you are getting any problems with the sound or vision as we continue to be up against it with the conditions blowing straight in our face. Here's Wasame. Still going as Wasame tried to go solo down the byline. The last touch was off a Glory defender. Can Armadale try and get themselves consolation and something to take home from this fixture? Apadu's ball in, steered away by Kazamba, leading the race is Ngo. Now he's only really got Defash ahead of him in support. Ngo comes in board. He'll try to thread the Ivan Needle for Despotovsky, but the pass was easily cut off by Carsway. Kelly lost his footing. Angel Andres Diaz. Samuels tried to tickle through for Finch. Now Venerassian for Kelly once more. Pass missed De Bruyne. Karasavides' ball had too much power on it. Wasame. Apadu got the better of Karasavides, went for the big diagonal switch. It's a great pass to pick out Samuels, who was good with the control as well. The pull across goal was looking for Finch. Apadu then with a win, not once but twice. Shouts for handball, nothing doing. Angel Andres Diaz, he then goes to ground and still play continues. Kazamba through the heart of the state football centre. He's got Defash to his left. It's Abdullah Defash into the penalty area. Touch took him a little wide, and as a result he wasn't able to get it on target, but Patterson wasn't to know. And the fumble goes behind for a Glory corner, so end-to-end action. Quarango, jinking run, cross into the box. Cleared away only as far as Yankolowski. Now Kazamba. Strike on the turn was taken early and target wasn't hit. Kazamba. Choir and go. Final 5 minutes now. Karasavides, Giovanni Deabreu threading the pass through for Roy Rahman across the goalkeeper. Patterson blocks again. And goes ball in. Punch away from Patterson. Yankolowski then with a volley, and looked good from the commentary position. Just didn't quite dip under the bar in time. Armadale get things moving again before Lee Taylor's side can make another substitution. Possession's turned over. Choir and go, breezing past another challenge. Wasame trying to fight the good fight on the deck. It was all a little bit scrappy in that corner, and it was deemed to be an illegal challenge from Wasame, and flag is now up, and now we will get that substitution. So it's going to be Jivan Thamaraja who comes on, and I think that's Wasame who has departed. He's taken the long way around the pitch. Free kick comes in. Kazamba was meeting it. Hooked away by Apadu. Veneracian for Choir and go. A little link up with Despotovsky. Kazamba still forward from that set piece. Armadale able to dig it out, only as far as Veneracian, and then Kelly. Veneracian again, space opens up. Karasavides, little curler. Couldn't put it either side of the goalkeeper. Nudge in the back there from the Armadale defender, Marley Kay. Pretty clear one. Suddenly the sun's out again. I feel like I've had 4 seasons in space of about an hour here in Queen's Park. Good control from and go. Went in between 2 challengers, did the nifty winger pull across the box. Julian Kelly at the back post, sends it across again, and Kazamba steers wide of the post. Angel Andres Diaz didn't give up, and he was able to win his ball back for the team. Well done from Armadale's number 9. Apadu was just squeezed out in between a couple of challengers. Finch then went from distance. It took an awkward bobble in front of Riley. "90 minutes, just about up." Goy looking to make it a 5-star performance. 3 more minutes to follow from David Averson's 4th officials board. Rymim for Quarango, who's been a real live wire since entering the pitch. Here he goes again, scampering away down the right. And he was clipped by Marley Kay. And Troy Malatesta points to the penalty spot. So it looks as though Roy Rymim's going to take ownership of the spot kick. And he will face up to Tyson Patterson. It's Rymim who steps up, and Patterson saves not once but twice. But then on the third time of asking, Rymim slams it home and completes a 5-star showing for the Glory. Too good on the day as the league leaders of the under-20s competition really assert their authority this afternoon. A late fifth makes it 5-0 here at the State Football Centre. So, got to feel a little bit there for Tyson Patterson. It wasn't the best penalty from Rymim, but he still got low to his right to make the save, and then he bravely put his body on the line for the second attempt. Unfortunately, though, for him, he was beaten by the third. And that really just adds the exclamation mark on this Glory win. Many of these players have featured at senior level, of course, throughout the season. And should any of these players progress to the senior team in season 2024, I'm sure that based on the football we've seen this afternoon, the step up is going to be pretty seamless for them. So Despotovsky's over the late free kick. Took on a strike from distance, and that'll do it. So Perth Glory adds State Cup success at under 20 level to the league title, which they won this season. It's a double for Ivan Zavella's team. And they were far too good on the day for an Armadale side who fought hard throughout the afternoon. They trailed by just the solitary goal at half-time. An early own goal set Glory on their way. Armadale's best chance came late in the first half when Abdurrahman Rasame steered over the bar from a long free kick. He was unmarked and probably would have been a little disappointed not to hit the target. In the end, though, Glory were able to run away with it in the second half as Sam Barry scored. Then Roy Rymim got two. The last of those came right at the very end, having missed a penalty initially, and in between Rymim's strikes, Sebastian Despotovsky struck for the Glory. So that's 2 of 4 State Cup matches done today here at the State Football Centre. First game was won 5-3 by Perth Soccer Club over over Florida Athena. The second game not as tight, with Glory winning by 5-0. Don't forget, Hyundai NTC versus Murdoch University Melville in the Women's State Cup final at 3:45, followed by Inglewood versus Floreat at 6:30. But for now, we'll cross down to the trophy presentations, where Perth Glory will be presented with the cup, and then we'll be back at 3:45 for the Women's State Cup final. We'll speak to you in a bit.
first assistant Adrian Whitty, second assistant Leah Halgate, and fourth assistant starting with number 9, Angelo Andres Diaz. Number 14, Kat Summers. Number 18, Ivan Castro. Number 23, Matt Adler. Number 24, Harvey Kay. Number 25, Sean Hallicourt. Number 28, Ivan Samaraja. Number 29, Abdurrahman Awasani. Number 30, Pablo Mazabuco. Number 41, James Bratton. Number 32, Delana Adams. Number 33, Timothea Chikavle. Number 34, Ravishna Abdu. Number 36, Colin Lane. Number 38, Lachlan De Silva. Number 41, Tyson Madison. And number 50, Solomon King. It may not have been their day today, but they've done well just to get to a final. They've got to keep their hands together one more time. But Armadale stop the clock. We'll also get the Armadale coaching staff to come forward and collect their medals. Our winners to come forward and collect their medals. The first glory, starting with number 1, Sam Riley. Number 2, Adrianache Kazumba. Number 3, Luke Sprigg. Number 4, Manolo Zamaratian. Number 5, Aston Montgomery. Number 7, Samuel Barry. Number 8, Stuart Tinsley. Number 9, Rory Ramadan. Number 10, Sebastian Vestasovsky. Number 11, Luke Gibbons. Number 4, Giovanni Diabri. Number 13, Daniel Michelozzi. Number 14, Damien